Introducing Officer Williams, number 46. This seems to be another officer that refuses or is too cowardly to acknowledge he even took an oath, much less that he believes that he has an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Also, since he seemed hesitant to want to ID, and he already wanted to dismiss me, I went ahead and asked for his ID card, which is also policy for him to show, so he can enjoy my company for just a bit longer, and be as annoyed as I am at his seeming lack of feeling of accountability and being a public servant. For the record, I can't judge this officer as a person. I don't know him. I can judge him as an alleged public servant. I can only judge him fairly if I judge him by what I see, hear, and experience while making the video. He may have saved a whole orphanage of kids from a burning building. And you know what? I don't care. Why don't I care, you may ask? Because I can only judge him by my experiences with him, not what he did yesterday or does tomorrow. Let's put it this way. If he stopped me for speeding 20 miles per hour over the limit, do you think if I told him I saved an old lady from getting run over by a bus yesterday, that he'd give a flying seagull fuck? And further, that he'd say, "Okay, sir, you're free to go." If you do, don't drive anywhere tonight. Because if he stops you, you will certainly be arrested for the crack you've obviously been smoking. Having said all of this, I can only judge him on what transpired during this video, and all comments and opinions about him are a direct result of that situation. On the move. Oh, look who it is. Sanchez. Well, there's the man right there. Oh, this is the man I want to talk to right here. You got a minute, officer?
No, sir.
No, sir, you don't have a minute?
No, sir.
Can I get your name and badge number?
Williams 46.
Can I see your identification, your police ID? So you don't want to answer a question for me?
No, sir.
You don't want to talk to me?
No, sir.
Well, I'll ask you anyway. Do you believe you have an oath to the United States Constitution, Officer Sanchez, to uphold and defend it? Would you violate that Constitution to go door to door and confiscate firearms from law-abiding citizens? Can I turn it in the light here? I'm gonna turn my light on just so I can see it. I appreciate that. Get it on. Damn, it's kind of hard to focus. I'll give it back to you in a second. I ain't gonna run off with it. Okay. So, would you answer my question for me? Do you believe you have an oath to the Constitution to uphold and defend it? Officer Williams? You don't believe you have an oath to that Constitution, sir? Well, there you go. Tyrant right there.
Sorry for yelling, but I'm serious.
Hey, you want to hear my comments and opinions and what I really think? Rhetorical. Don't care. Here they come. As I've said before, if you took an oath, be proud of that oath, be able to say you took it, and that you uphold it. If you can't, then it obviously isn't that important to you.
Newsflash! Fuck you!
You public servants sought out your jobs. It wasn't some miracle that Jesus descended from some imagined heavenly realm and said, "My son, you are being called to be a police officer."
No, permission not granted.
No, you wanted the job for whatever reasons.
Detective Norman Stone.
Whether for the pay and benefits, or a need to have authority or control over others.
Freeze! I said freeze!
Or a need to maintain control and authority you've had in the past.
Put your hands behind your back and spread them.
Or you needed to overcompensate for a feeling of deficiency of control and power elsewhere.
I said spread them.
Or maybe you actually wanted to help people. One of those options is most often true in some mixture or another. The bottom line is that you chose the job, and you knew what the requirements were. You raised your right hand and you swore an oath. It may not be important to you, but it is very important, and very important to those you claim to serve. If you can't accept, acknowledge, and affirm, then get the fuck out of the profession. If an officer can't identify himself to a citizen without some feeling or indication of animosity, or that you shouldn't have to, you're a fucking hypocrite tyrant who doesn't deserve the badge, uniform, or authority you apparently lied to receive. Same goes for interacting with those you claim to, quote, protect and serve, unquote. In other words, fuck off and find another job in the private sector.
Kiss my ass.
When you raised your right hand and put on that badge and uniform, you became public servants, paid for by the public, and accountable to us, we the people, aka the public. Here's a suggestion. Why don't you go work at the sheriff's department, where they purposely wrongly apply policy to protect cowards who can't even acknowledge and affirm they have an oath to the Constitution? You'd fit right in there. But if you can't do that, then at least be honest. Publicly admit You have no concern for Constitution, your oath, nor the citizens, so you can ignore, mock, dismiss, and degrade their rights and their Constitution you refuse to proudly claim support of, while at the same time staining, dishonoring, and further degrading the law enforcement profession as a whole. I know, cop haters. All cops are always bad cops. However, if you can at least concede that there is at least one good frickin' cop somewhere in the whole country, just one for fuck's sakes, then that officer's honor and profession would be affected, degraded, demeaned, and stained. So if you know this officer and you know him to be a good person, then good for you. I only judge him by what happens in my videos. Anything beyond that is not my business nor the business of YouTube. And I doubt seriously he gives two shits what I did yesterday or anyone I've helped or served or took responsibility for standing up for or their rights. And that is also his right. There. Now everyone has something to thumbs down and whine about. And just like some of the shitheads wearing badges and uniforms, I don't care either. Enjoy your day. And that includes you too, Officer Williams.
I would have been offended out of my ass.
Me too, you mother suck.
Acceptable.
Move along now, sheep. Nothing to see here.